Okay, hello there.
Uh, oh. Yuli. I'll go.
Alright, do not get distracted by the clearly made of vines, not bridge, that leads to some sort of chest. Can't take that.
Ah, another stoic, perhaps. We all need something to help us through times like these. We've all been where you are now. I still... All right.
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh no. No. No, 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 no. Oh, P.S.
That's...
What?
Why do you...
Please,
I'm sorry.
please, help.
You... Well, you don't... It's... If I... Oh. Really? Wait. So, I guess you'd want me to work for you then. You'd... do that for us. A couple of complete strangers. It seems today... we're both... blessed. This did not turn out how I thought. Thank you, friend. I never thought people like you existed. Thank you. I'll go and pay off our debts immediately. I just wish there was some way I could repay you. But I have nothing but the tunic on my back. I'll go and take care of things with Malleolus and tell Yulia the good news. Thanks again, friend. I'll never forget what you did for us.
What you did was extraordinary, and I'll never forget it. I'm thankful that you're here. Can I help you with something? Ah, that's...
Okay. Chase after you. Zip line down. Give me that money. I'm gonna need to stop by the bar and harvest it every single time I want to do that, though.
Name's Wu. Oh, yes. And there is only one true God. And he laid waste to Sodom and Gomorrah. Because of exactly this kind of thing. I am doing that. If I was about to get everyone else killed, I would want someone to stop me. Smart. Now get lost. We're done talking.
There you are.
Salve again, friend. I went and did as you asked, and it worked. How is it possible that you've just arrived here and you already know everyone and exactly what's about to happen to them? You're toying with me, right? Wait, you're not kidding, are you? That's the only way you could have known. You're a bit like... Oh, what was his name? Sisyphus. Yeah, that's the one. Old King Sisyphus. Sisyphus was a Greek king a long time ago, For daring to think he could outsmart the gods, he was given a terrible punishment. He was forced to push a great boulder up to the top of a hill. Only, just as it reached the top, it would roll all the way back down to the bottom, forcing him to start over and over and over again, for all eternity. Just like you. Actually, now that I think about it, there are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. Tantalus was made to grasp at fruit on a tree he could never quite reach. The Bellides had to keep fetching water in a sieve. Oh, and Ixion was strapped to a wheel going round and round forever. But, on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld like they all were. Anyway, I don't know which god you managed to upset to get yourself into this position, friend, but you seem all right to me. So, I'll tell you what. I'll keep doing whatever I can to help you. And you just focus on finding a way to break the cycle you're in. Oh, that's kind of you to say. Now, I'm going to keep your secret. Although, it's not as if I'll remember this next time we talk anyway, right? Oh, and if our conversations ever start to annoy you, just tell me you're busy. I know when I'm not wanted. May fortune smile on you, friend.
Get back here. I need to get you to run for mayor.
Salve again, my Sisyphean friend. Now, what's on your mind? I've bounced the idea around, but and maybe that's not... And how could you... Oh, wait. You've seen it in another time loop, haven't you? Well, in that case, we need to find a way to make sure Malleolus loses. Better yet, get him to withdraw altogether. If you can do that, and Sentius is the only candidate left, I'll run against him. Deal? All right, friend.
Okay. Okay, need to dig up dirt on Malleolus. Ah, right, what's his name? Guy who I just stopped from committing seppuku. Yes, I can, but dang it.
What?
Hello? Hello? Have we met before?
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Just getting that cutscene out of the way. Alright, here's the Parthenon, or whatever it's called. Take the money. Is it you? Yes.
Shalom. Scintilla and I were in love. And then, 22 days ago, she went missing. All right. One night a few months ago, when I was cleaning Malleolus's villa, I heard a young woman singing. It was the most beautiful thing I had ever heard. I wasn't allowed out, so once everyone else was asleep, I climbed up the inside of the villa and onto the roof, just to see where that sound was coming from. And that's when I saw her. Standing in the garden of the magistrate's villa, I just sat there on the roof, listening to her with my chin on my knees. And for the first time in a long time, I felt hopeful. And then she looked up and saw me and she smiled. I knew at that moment the fates had brought me to her, and from the moment she asked my name with this warmth and curiosity, I knew I'd have done anything for her. And so for weeks on end, each night I'd climb out of the villa and into her father's garden. We'd hold hands and talk about all the things we'd do once we got out of here. Like having our own vineyard. And then one morning I woke up and everyone was out searching for her. They said she'd vanished in the night. All I could do was keep my head down and try to hide how beside myself I was. All I know is she loved me. And if she had known a way out, she would have told me. She'd never have taken her own life. And there's no way anybody could have killed her under the Golden Rule. I can't prove it, but I just know she's still alive somehow. Even now, it's as if I can hear her voice in my head, crying out to me. That can only mean one thing. Somebody abducted her. I have no idea how, or who would want to do something like that to such a sweet, lovely girl. But what else could have happened? My guess? Malleolus had something to do with it. He is without doubt the most evil man I have ever known. I have no idea where he'd be keeping her, but there is one room in his villa, upstairs, which is always locked. I've never seen the inside of it, and I haven't been able to steal a key without breaking the Golden Rule. But I have a feeling that if you could get in there somehow, it would shed light on a great many things. Let me know what you discover.
Oh, right. Should probably finish talking to you.
Shalom. Well, neither of us have a couple of hours to stand around talking about theology, law, and collective punishment, so I guess you're looking for a pithy summary? You remind me of an old story from my people about Hillel the Elder. He was approached by a Gentile and asked to explain the entire Torah while he stood on one foot. Obliging, he replied, "What is hateful to you, do not do to another. That is the whole Torah. The rest is commentary. Go and learn." Of course, what I want to know is, what kind of a god sees a young woman abducted and does nothing about it? Not my god. That's for sure. Maybe you don't. I feel it in my bones. I don't. But even if I did, I'm not going anywhere. I have unfinished business. Sentius, I suppose. I'd have to be insane to vote for Malleolus after what he did to me. All right, friend. Thanks for the chat.
I'll ask you about your story later. Okay. Ask the residents of the villa.
Malleolus isn't... Listen. You don't know Sturkus. Whatever.
What is... What... Oh. No, but I learned long ago not to dwell on things beyond my control. Or to try not to, anyway. But I don't want to seem obstructive. If you have questions, ask away. Centilla, you might... Fine. Alright.
Okay, not this one. Where are the stairs?
I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected your magistrate. Yes, thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to be elected your magistrate. And now, I make this solemn promise to you, good citizens. And now, eggshells, yes. No more should you walk on eggshells, fearing simply to live and breathe, because the tyrant Sitius told you it was forbidden. Yes.
Wait,
for my
did
first-
the key actually unlock it? Because that one still said unlock even after I hit the button and it was unlocked. That's a good amount of cash.
You're not supposed to be in here. Talk. What business could you possibly have with me? My marital affairs are no concern of yours. Thank you very much. I think a better question is, why am I being interrogated by a stranger who just barged into my villa? I have quite enough marriage trouble already, without having to explain to my husband why I am receiving strange men in private. Preferably the way you came in, by which I mean, please leave. I think it's about to be broken if you don't hurry up and leave. The dainty little thing from next door. Of course not. As much as I despise her father, I would never lay a finger on that poor, sweet child. Well, I've had quite enough of this. Domitius, come quickly. We're being robbed. Do I need to call Domitius?
You already did. He didn't come.
Keep an eye out for Scintilla, would you?
Shalom. You mean where am I from and all that? Judea, originally. But when I was a child, I moved to Rome with my family, Romanized my name, and spent most of my life in the Jewish district of Trans-Tiberim, across the Tiber from the main city. That's where I was when the fires broke out. Everyone was running toward the river, and I, listening to my inner contrarian, ran the other way. Every road leading out of Rome was in chaos, full of people with all their belongings in carts and brigands preying on them. Several hours down the Appian Way, I saw another Jewish family being attacked by 3 opportunists. So I picked up a branch from the side of the road and went to defend them. I can only assume they got the better of me, because the next thing I knew, I was waking up in a forest, by a river not far from here, with no memory of how I got there. It's strange though, because I still had my purse on me. Why would a robber knock me unconscious and throw me in a river, but not take my coins? You're right. I always just assumed the river carried me, but I'm not sure I was anywhere near the Tiber when I fell. I'm sure it'll all make sense if we ever get out of here. Really? I was sure he was hiding something in there. I feel like I've looked everywhere. At least everywhere I could get to. There are still 2 places I've never been able to reach. First, the palace. If Navia managed to get in, then I suppose Scintilla could have too. The only other place she could be is somewhere in the cistern network. I remember hearing that Dooley had been poking around in the upper cistern before he was locked up. So you could ask him about it, I suppose. All right, friend. Thanks for the chat.
Alright, how do I get to the upper cistern? Ah, new chest. Hmm. Well, found the cultist base. Huh. If I steal from the tavern and Morelius now, I can double my money.
Salve.
Ugh. Do you guys just stand here and look at the view? Reasonable, I guess.
I hope you're coping.
Oh, hi. Alright, how do I get the assassin's bow? Just turns to gold when he gets shot. Sending him at Morelius didn't do anything.
I hope you're coping.
There was an option to lie to him and send him in a completely random direction. Yeah.
Demetrius. Are you insane? You barge into my villa uninvited and then make outrageous demands? Why would I withdraw from an election I'm bound to win? You fool.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Okay, well, that didn't work. Okay, so threatening to kill also triggers the thing. Good to know. I'm just gonna quickly grab this money. I think this way to the tavern. Can't do that. Aha, there we go. Except, no, this is where I just came from. Dang it. Hi. Dang it. Alright, jump through here. Get that money. Dodge. Serpentine. Dang it, wrong direction again. Ow. There we go. Here's the tavern. This is also not the tavern. Dang it. Excuse me. Here's the tavern. Okay, never mind. I can't get through. Here's the tavern. Not it. Ah, frozen. Not it. Aha, here it is. I don't need another copy of that. Regenning a little. Yeah, I should be able to take 2 arrows now. Well, I just took 2 arrows, so back out of here. Okay, so yeah, that is where I was again. This time I can just take the zip line. Ah. And have plenty of cash.
You? But how did you... All right, of course. I'll go.
Ah, good. I don't have to talk to him. Oh! Hi.
Name's Rufius.
Fortune
Go on.
smile on you, brother.
Yep. And what? No. I don't like where this is going. I have no idea what you're talking about. And unless you want your jaw broken, I think it's...
Dang it.
I was just doing what the new guy told me.
I'll go upstairs and talk to the wife then.
You're not... Demetrius! This is outrageous. Do I need to call Demetrius?
Alright, so it's already got the money in it.
What? Don't talk nonsense. There's no such thing as the Golden Rule. How could you possibly know that? Nonsense! This is nonsense! I don't know how you know about my plans, but I'm absolutely sure Sentius is involved somehow. And now, I'm going to enjoy watching Demetrius kill him even more. Now, get out of here! You outstayed your very limited welcome.
Okay, that didn't work either. Well, this is unfortunate. I'm just gonna F9. I probably should have quick saved sometime in the last like 5 hours. Alternately, it could crash and I load from main menu. Speaking of which, quick save. Okay, so that's where I am.
Why are you still here? Finally!
Okay.
Don't talk. How? Nonsense! This is nonsense! I don't know how you know about my plans. But
All right.
I'm absolutely
Quick
sure
load.
Sentius is involved.
Really isn't very quick of a load. I should refrain from doing this. Did it crash? Okay, nope, there it goes.
What is the meaning of this? don't talk. How? Nonsense! This is nonsense! I don't know how. And now.
Fine. Well, there's one option left I haven't tried.
Oh, another one fresh out of the baths, I take it. What? Really? I'd never have noticed, what with your flawless accent, appropriate attire, and impressive mastery of our customs. Now, remind me, why are we having this conversation? I trust you can...
Keep an eye out for Scintilla, would you?
Oi!
Don't
did you get
believe
in there,
a word
you
they
cheeky
tell
little
you.
Sturkus? If I cop an earful from Malleolus, I'll be coming for you.
Where is that waterway?
Keep an eye out for Scintilla, would you?
I know it's around here somewhere. Ah, there it is.
Hey! You're not thinking about going into the cistern, are you? Nobody's told you about Hannibal. So, one day, said anyway, so, and I know what I saw, alright? But if you reckon you're more fearless without a weapon...
Well, I know I can just kick it, so... Just mash E.
Kill me. And
Yeah, that didn't do anything. Nothing over here.
kill me.
Ah, dang it, my turn.
Kill.
Nope, that didn't work. Okay, that's the way up. How about over here? No, it's just the way out. What about here? Where'd he go? I might have found a place to dump you. Yo, sit there, please. Thank you. Where'd you go? That's a good amount of money for a single coin purse. What is that? Also, where'd you go? There you are. This way.
Let me die.
Okay, so I got some arrows there. Thought that might have been something. Nothing down there, nothing in there. Ooh, maybe down here? No, it just goes right back over to here. Yeah, hi. I have broken your pathfinding, haven't I? Alright, hopefully this reset you.
Kill me.
Nope. Alright, whatever. I'll try it again next time. Okay, Upper Cistern. So theoretically that means this is the lower cistern. That was a terrible mistake. I should not repeat it. Anyway, it turns out that the Grave Robber achievement is for stealing 2,000 coins after the thing has been triggered. So, you know, stealing the key and then opening that chest was enough. Alright, so there should be an entrance to this cistern somewhere. Can't jump up this. Oh no. Okay, got it. This could be it. Ah, dang it, locked. Okay. So I need to find a way to open that door.
Salve. Sorry, was this? You mean, oh, but I... Oh.
Okay, nothing for you. You get nothing from me having paid off your bounty. Alright, I guess I could try the assassin again. Ah, there it is. Not there, not there. There's a chest there, it's just got some cash in it.
Ah, a fellow traveler from a faraway land.
This door is locked. A priestess? What about her?
I hope you're coping.
I guess she unlocks this once you've figured out how to get the assassin out of the baths.
What?
Also hit control to crouch. I may or may not have enough clues for my character to have figured this out by now. We'll see if I can just guess or not.
visitor. It's a sincere... Tell me. Well, in that... Then perhaps I... Let her... Then you should speak with your contemporaries in the city above. Ask them about their stories, and see if you detect a pattern of some sort. It is best if you come to this realization for yourself. You would never believe me if I told you.
Probably Hades then? I mean, that's the obvious answer, but if it is Demeter, that's also a possibility. And since the original inhabitants were the Greek ones, it would be the Greek names of the gods and not the Roman ones. Alright, where is that priestess? Maybe if I just don't tell her about the assassin? She'll go to the baths. Then I can tell him where Marcellus is, and we can continue on our merry way. Did I talk to you? Okay, nope. Can't try you again. Ah, there you are.
A new face. Yes, I understand many of our friends were carried here by a river current. What else? That's true. What else? Yeah, it... And... Because... Please.
Ah, dang it. Automatically tell her about it.
Thank you for your...
That's why I've got to get in first before someone else beats me to it.
Okay, now that I've lied to him. Fine. I'll just follow the assassin then, see what happens. Ah, right, that one. And it collapses on him and I can take his bow.
Curse you, cultist.
I take it you've follow, but don't follow too closely. We can't have people thinking we're bathing together.
What? Why not? Ah, okay. Auto walk. Nice. I'll walk backwards. I got 70 arrows. If I shoot the statues, does it count as breaking rule? Because they are alive. This would have been very nice to have known about back when I was doing the follow mission at the very start. Right, okay.
All right, you're here. You were asking how I knew the young woman you met by the river was wearing a hood. Here, look down at the bottom of the baths. It's a little hard to make out in this light. If only we could see. Oh, what a marvelous lamp. But do you see it? Somebody waking up by a river in a forest to find a hooded figure with a coin. It's just as you described it. Only, I think I know who that stranger is. Charon, the ferryman of the dead. Charon, who, in exchange for the right coin, helps the souls of the newly deceased cross the Styx, the river that separates the land of the living from the land of the dead.
When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, but all I found was some loose change.
There are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. But
yes,
side,
I figured this
at least
out
you're not
like
stuck
30
in the
seconds
underworld
in.
like they all were.
I'm so sorry, my friend. I'm so sorry. I take it you know what this means. I'm afraid so. It's all starting to make sense. All these people whose last memory was running from the fires toward the river. It seems none of them escaped with their lives after all. Perhaps we should be grateful they don't remember their final moments. It also tells us that the Golden Rule is the work of Pluto, the god of the underworld, and why his epithet has always been Father of Riches. I know it's a lot to take in, and you look as if you have questions, so I'll try to answer them if I can. Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting you're not from here. If you were Roman, or even Greek, you would know these stories. Each of them is slightly different, whether the storyteller was Plato, Homer, Virgil, or Ovid. But they always involved the souls of the dead meeting a grim ferryman named Charon on the bank of a river. It was said that he'd help the new arrival cross, only if they could pay him with a coin, an obol. That's why it was once our custom to bury our loved ones with a coin in their mouths. Charon's obol, we called it. Of course, an obol was a kind of Greek coin, because we inherited this knowledge from the Greeks. To be fair, the ferryman isn't exactly as the poets described, and he, she, they seem to appear to different people in different guises. You say you saw a young woman with a hood, and I once heard Kabash mention a stranger in a ram headdress named Kerti, and Rufius described meeting a stranger named Kumut Tabal wearing an eagle headdress. But whatever form this stranger took, they were always wearing a hood of some sort, and their name always began with a K sound. I suspect the only way you'll solve this riddle is if your paths cross again. Good question. Let's see. In the stories, Charon would always require a coin as payment for passage across the river. But that never made any sense to me. What does an ancient immortal being need with coins? In our case, it seems Charon didn't take the coins we had. He or she merely checked we had one in our possession. So, maybe there's something special about the coins each of us had on us. That might explain why we wound up here, but so many others did not. No, I mean, I had my suspicions, especially after Livia's ramblings, but I would never have figured it out without your help, I promise you. That was my first thought too. In the old stories, the underworld was where the souls of the deceased were taken. But it was also possible for the living to reach it without dying, if they were particularly fearless. So I'm afraid I don't know. Now that we know where we are, we have to figure out what to do about it, if we don't want to be cast into gold for eternity. We don't have much to go on, except the old stories. I remember 4 in particular about heroes in the underworld. Hercules, the demigod and son of Jupiter. Orpheus, a Thracian poet. Sisyphus, a king of Ephyra. And Aeneas, a Trojan hero. Hercules was able to leave the underworld because he cowed its god with his strength. Sisyphus and Orpheus both relied on their wits instead. They persuaded the goddess of the underworld, Proserpina, to help them escape. And finally, Aeneas was able to escape with the help of a spirit guide, who led him through a secret gate. So it seems you have 2 options: to confront the god of the underworld head-on, or find a way to escape with the help of Proserpina or some other guide. All Romans try to avoid saying it, and the reason is quite simple. He might hear us. You may refer to him as Pluto, if you wish, but you'll only be calling attention to yourself. Do so at your own peril.
He's a bit testy after he got demoted from planet.
It's a reasonable question, but the problem is, this place is fairly well designed to keep us here. There's no way to climb up the shaft. And even if you could build a ladder big enough, just trying it would break the golden rule. We know that, thanks to the writings left behind by those who've tried. As I mentioned, both Orpheus and Sisyphus were said to have persuaded Proserpina to help them escape, and Aeneas was guided to the exit. The problem is, those are the stories of a poet, a self-aggrandizing king, and a brawler about their own heroic deeds, so they should be taken with a grain of salt. First, Proserpina. What we do know about her is, well, it's a grim tale. It's said the god of the underworld abducted and dragged her here against her will, forcing her into marriage. If the stories are true, then I suppose so. The problem is, how do we communicate with her without being noticed by her captor? Leaving that aside for a moment, there is also the possibility of a spirit guide. I don't suppose you've come across one of those in your travels? Truly? And you're only bringing this up now? Then again, I suppose you were worried I'd think you were as mad as Navia. Can you tell me more? Is it the same voice? What kinds of thing does it say? Fascinating. Perhaps she's a benevolent spirit. Or perhaps... Perhaps you're hearing the voice of Proserpina herself. If she has indeed been abducted, it would make sense for her to speak in cryptic whispers to avoid detection. Tell me, has she told you anything that might lead you to the way out? Oh, I see. Well, let me know if you hear anything that might be a thread through this labyrinth. Shh! Is everyone so blunt where you're from? Oh. That option would be the boldest, but also the only way to learn the truth about the Golden Rule, and maybe even put an end to it. As I said, Hercules managed to overpower the god of the underworld, but he was a demigod. Forgive my candor, but you are no Hercules. Are you telling me that you can? I won't pretend to understand exactly what that means, but if that's true, then perhaps you stand a chance. So, if you want to confront him, I'll help you as much as I can. Who knows? Perhaps your name will be uttered in the same sentence as Hercules one day. But first, you'd need an audience with you-know-who, and for that, you'll need to enter the great temple overlooking the city. The problem is, The door has been sealed shut for as long as I've lived here, and there doesn't even seem to be a keyhole. I suspect the answer lies in the desecrated obelisk in front of it. I'm not sure if you noticed, but there are 4 plaques missing from its base. It looks as though somebody, or a series of somebodies, forcibly removed them, and in doing so, dishonored and angered our divine keeper. If you could recover and replace all 4 of those missing plaques, I imagine he might be willing to receive an audience again. It's the towering stone monument with 4 sides and a pyramid-shaped head that stands before the great temple, a dedication to the god of this place. You'll find them all over Rome, but of course they were looted from Egypt many years ago. It seems one of them made its way here too, although how is a mystery. However, this one is unusual in that each of the 4 sides is decorated in a different style: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and another I don't recognize. That means you'll need to recover 4 different plaques: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and a 4th, a mystery plaque. Good question. To answer that, we first need to ask who would have defaced the obelisk in the first place. It would have had the god's name engraved into it, so it may be that whoever desecrated it wanted that name to be forgotten. And there's only one group of people I know of who might want to do that. There's a cult in Rome that often argued there is only one true god. Theirs, of course. They've been known to start fires, as well as deface religious monuments whose existence challenged their beliefs. If I were you, I'd go looking for them. Of course, they've all been in hiding since the fire last year, so finding them won't be easy. But I did hear a rumor they have a secret shrine somewhere in the city. Perhaps, if you could find that, you might be able to recover the Roman plaque. I don't know. But perhaps you should begin your search with the local Greek fellow, Georgius. His store is in the forum. Perhaps Kabash, our Egyptian resident, would be able to tell us. Unfortunately, he disappeared weeks ago. But I did hear Aurelia is peddling rumors about him at the tavern, so perhaps you could talk to her, or just take a look in his room. I'm afraid you're on your own with that one, but perhaps the goddess will help guide you to it when the time is right. All right. I would suggest not discussing this with anyone. The best we can do for them is to let them remain oblivious for as long as possible. As for Livia, it seems she's been shouldering the weight of this terrible secret all this time. Perhaps it would comfort her to know she's not alone. In any case, time is of the essence, so you'd best begin. May Fortuna guide you. Although you may not need her with Proserpina on your side.
Wade against the current. Okay. Where is there a current?
Salve, Dooley.
Hello?
How are you doing today?
I'm sad. Am I going to die in here?
Ixion turns. Just as the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, So this place accepts all the souls, but it does not notice the crowds that come. Say it. Speak its name.
Tartarus.
Then it is true. I was right. I thought I saw it, but when the rest of them could not, I kept thinking I must have gone insane. I had to tell myself it was true over and over again, until I wasn't sure if I was deceiving myself. I must apologize if my words seemed cryptic. I'd found comfort in reciting the Metamorphoses by our great poet Ovid. He gives such an uncanny description of this place. I cannot help but wonder if he himself came here. Would you like to hear it? I will do my best to remember the relevant verse. There is a downward path, gloomy with fatal yew trees. It leads through dumb silence to the infernal regions. The sluggish Styx exhales vapor, and by that way, the shadows of the newly dead descend, entombed with full rites, and the ghosts of those, at last, given proper burial. The wide, thorny waste is cold and pallid, and the newly arrived shades are ignorant of the road that leads to the Stygian city, where Black Dis has his cruel palace. As the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts all the souls, and is never too small for any populace, nor notices the crowds that come. There the bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Some crowd the forum, some the house of the ruler of the depths. Others follow their trades, imitating their previous lives, and still others incur punishment. I hope I have done it justice, and now we share a secret. It's as if you've lifted a great burden from my shoulders. Thank you, friend. I think I should rest.
I love your clothes. So exotic.
Read 10 different graffiti. Alright, well, I'm gonna call it there.